Welcome, welcome. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today and want to acknowledge the fact that I know how busy you are working in your business, serving your clients, being able to manage and juggle all those different moving parts, and that you are willing to step away from it and join us today to work on your business, to get some advanced knowledge, insights, something that you might take away and implement immediately to raise the bar for your firm and how you serve your clients. So really want to acknowledge you showing up today. Our topic is 5 steps to package your services and stop competing on price. And really what we're talking about is how to stop competing on price, being able to package, win new clients, and all the things that come with that. What I do know is that you do meaningful work for your clients, but so often your fees don't reflect your value. And if that is true for you, then you are absolutely going to take something away today. I suggest that you get your Word doc open, Excel spreadsheet, your legal pad, however you take notes, because I will be giving a lot today. If you feel that you share your rates too quickly, you don't know how to communicate your value, maybe your legacy clients are still at your original rates, or you're price competitive and you're ready to change that, you're absolutely in the right place. Steve, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, Lauren, I'd love to. So, hi, my name is Steve Fogelman, and as you can see, Lauren and I are related. We have been married for quite a while and working together for, I guess, even longer than that. I am a therapist turned business coach, and I'm going to be working the chat. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll be able to get those questions over to Lauren for them to be answered. The best time to do the questioning is when we do our poll questions, and I will let you know more about that. Lauren, it's back to you.
Thank you. A little bit about me is I'm a sports psychologist turned business coach. What I found with my education is that it gave me all the skills to do what I do really, really well. And that's probably true for you as well, as far as the insights, the theories, the practice, but it also prepared me to be an employee instead of a business owner or employer. Because of that, I found that there were 3 things that I needed to heavily invest in order to have a business that I run instead of one that runs me. And those 3 things were how to be able to communicate my value, network, especially when I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. The second one is how to be able to enroll clients when I really didn't want to pitch my services or be salesy or pressure someone into working with me. And number 3 is how to price my services when I didn't want to tie what I did to time or an hourly rate. So those are the 3 things that I find accounting professionals could benefit from as well, is communicating value, being able to enroll new clients when they don't like the sales part, and how to be able to price your services and separate them from time. The other thing is, as you can see, I've been nominated, actually listed as one of the top 22 business coaches by HubSpot from 2018 through 2022. Your education, as I mentioned, gives you everything that you need to be able to do the work that you do, to really solve your clients' problems, to be able to follow through. And what happens is that you get out into the job force, and now you are going to earn an hourly rate. Somehow your income's tied to time. And because of that, I just want to say, when you then eventually go into having your own business, you continue to somehow tie your income to time, whether you charge a fixed rate or an hourly rate. As a result of that, that creates what I call an upper limit challenge, which is that eventually you max out on your revenues because of the fact that you maxed out on your time. You've sacrificed some personal things to be able to give more to your business. And it is just something that eventually drains you. You burn out. It's not sustainable. So I just want to say our education gave us a skill set. As we moved into the workforce, we always learned that our time is highly valuable because that's how we got paid. But as a business owner, it's not always in your best interest to tie your fees to time, because it creates what I call that upper limit challenge. And the packages that we're talking about, is what allows you to stop competing on price and earn and start to work with those high value clients. What we're going to cover today is how to earn more, highlight your value, and 5 steps to packages. I will absolutely give you as much as I possibly can in the short amount of time we have together today. If you're interested in learning how to be able to apply this, having me help you directly with that, I will give you the resource on how to do that as we wrap up.
Well, let's go ahead and get started, Lauren. The first thing that we're going to look at is, as you were saying, is how to earn more. But before we do that, we have our first poll question. So how do you charge your clients? Do you charge an hourly rate? Do you charge a flat fee? Do you charge value pricing, or do you do a combination? So once again, how do you charge your clients? Hourly rate, flat fee, value pricing, or a combination? And this is also a good time to let you know that if you do have a question for Lauren or for myself, anything that you would like to take care of, you can just go ahead and put that in the chat, and I will be sure to get those questions over to Lauren. And we're going to wait just a few more seconds on this, and then we'll go ahead.
So let's go ahead and close it down. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
And Steve, you want to share the results?
Absolutely. So hourly rate is 13%, flat fee is 38%, value pricing is also 13%, and a combination is also 38%. Well, thank you for that. That was great. And Lauren, I know that the next thing that we're going to be looking at is, what are the steps for accounting professionals to increase their income without working additional hours?
Well, this is right from my Raise Your Rates formula, which I show accounting professionals how to be able to double, sometimes triple their income without working any more time. If you just follow the essence of this, you will absolutely be able to benefit from that and have those results as well. The very first step is knowing who your ideal high value clients are, because in the beginning, you probably work with a wide range of clients from low value to high value. But as you move forward, you realize that some clients are a joy to work with. They get it. You look forward to working with them. And then other clients, if you get any type of communication from them, you just feel your anxiety rise and your stress levels go up. So I want to have awareness about who those high value clients are, because that is the way to keep from burning out. It's more sustainable, and they are not price sensitive. They really appreciate what you bring to the table. Number 2 is communicating your value. Well, one of the biggest challenges, and it was for me in the beginning as well, because what happens is that we spend so much time learning how to do something and the theory, and our income is tied to time. So we think that that's what's most important to our clients also. And that's what we talk about when we market, when we post on social media, is all about time and rates and what you do. Well, I want to let you know that some of the things that your clients highly value is different than what you highly value. We will actually talk about that and touch on this during today's session. But the thing that we're taking a deep dive into is number 3, which is packaging your services. That's where you start to look at what is the benefits that clients receive from working with you, being able to bundle certain services together, and it allows you to start separating your fees from time. Number 4 is value pricing. When you start to look at this, it looks at how to price your services differently than cost plus time or than an hourly rate. And as a result of this, you're actually looking at the value from the client's perspective instead of yours, and actually pricing the client instead of your time and the service that you do. It is definitely a challenge to shift over to this, but once you do this, it changes everything. And then the last one, number 5, is consultation mastery. If you are enrolling new clients, having consultations with them, and you don't like the sales part, when objections show up, you just shut down the conversation because they feel confrontational and that's not the type of person you are, then having what I call a value conversation is absolutely what's going to be a win-win for you, because it's no pitch, it's not salesy, And by coming from this, you're really focusing on the client and what's important to them and learning about them and what they care about. And as a result of that, they are going to just naturally ask you, how does this work? No pitch involved. So those are the 5 steps of the Raise Your Rates formula: is ideal client, communicating your value. We'll take that deep dive into packaging and services today, value pricing, and consultation mastery.
Well, Lauren, before we get into the packages, can you share about pricing and why you encourage accounting professionals to separate their fees from time?
Well, there's many different ways to price your services. The most common for accounting professionals is charging an hourly rate, where you're primarily charging for your time, a fixed rate, which is costs, time, and maybe some profit margin added in, and then value pricing, where you're pricing the client as opposed to your services and your time. What happens when you tie your fees to time, which is usually a fixed rate or an hourly rate, is it creates a tug of war between you and your client. You like at opposite ends of the spectrum, where your client, they want you to work as quickly as possible to pay as little as possible. And you on the other end of the spectrum are not incentivized to go any faster, because the faster you go, the less you make. And as you add in more technology, as you gain experience, you know you're going to be more efficient with what you do. So that means that you might end up earning a lower rate than someone first starting out who doesn't have all the experience, technology, and they're just a lot slower at things than what you are. So I just want to say, charging an hourly rate puts you and your clients at the opposite ends of the spectrum, and it commoditizes your services where you need to remain price competitive, but it's not necessarily in anybody's best interest. Oops. Here we go.
Well, accounting professionals, they're really hard workers, and many of them offer a wide variety of services. Why don't you talk about the a la carte services that most of them offer?
I look at a lot of accounting websites, and I can go to a website, look at the services page, see maybe 20, possibly even 30 different things that you offer your clients. And maybe you talk about the professions or the industries that you work with, and there's a pretty long laundry list of all the different types of professions that you work with also. When you're leading with the activities that you're doing, what's happening is you position yourself as a technician as opposed to an expert. When you position yourself as a technician, you will then be having to be price competitive, because they're going to be focusing on the activities that you do along with the activities that everybody else does, which is going to be similar. They can't understand why they ought to work with you instead of somebody else. And when we flip that, when we lead with your expertise, then we're focusing on what actually your clients highly value. And what they highly value is knowing whether you have the skill set and the systems in place to deliver on what they hired you to do. And when you're able to do that and lead with your expertise, you no longer need to compete on price. And that's when you're able to go ahead and earn 2 to 3 times more than when you're focusing on all the things that you do and leading with the technical parts. So I want you to think about, what is it that you offer as an expert that differentiates you, that makes you as the go-to person, instead of being lumped together with everybody else who does the same services as you.
Well, we know that accounting professionals do an amazing amount, of work for their clients, but some of the work that they do, they don't charge for. How do they start to correct that?
Okay, first of all, I would love for you to put in the chat, what are some of the things that you do for your clients that you do not get compensated for, or you don't get compensated enough for? Because I know that there are a lot of things that accounting professionals do, and either you're not putting it on an invoice because you don't want to add that onto a line item where they might come back and challenge you. It just took you 5 minutes, so you didn't want to charge for that. You didn't want them to think that you were nitpicking or nickel and diming them. The other thing is that Maybe it's something you do for your clients and you just don't know how to charge for it. So Leslie was saying problem solving. That's something that she does for her clients that she doesn't charge for. Think about when everything happened in March of 2020 and all of a sudden business changed overnight. And now there were EIDLs and there were PPP loans and you were helping clients with that. Did you guys charge for those services that you were helping your clients because of the fact that you were wanting to help them keep their doors open? Another thing Sunshine said was research. So she does research for her clients or how to do something that they want, and she doesn't charge for that. How about the fact that whether you use Xero or Intuit products, every now and then there are glitches. How much time do you spend on customer service and never get compensated? Nicole said financial budgeting and advice is something that she does that she doesn't get compensated for. Another thing that comes to mind is, what about when they are just randomly calling you or emailing you or texting you with a question and they want an immediate response? So those are all the things that you do without compensation. And I want to say every single one of them is of high value and you deserve to be well compensated. Leslie was adding in quick questions. So all those things that you're not getting compensated for, packages go ahead and build those things in so that you never, ever, ever have to give away work for free unless you actually choose to.
Well, Lauren, you're talking about really communicating your value, and that can really feel difficult. Can you explain how value actually works?
Yes, and I'll go a little bit more into that in section 2, but to touch on it now is value. What you value is different than what your clients value from your work together. From your point of view, what you value is your time and also your costs, because you devoted a lot of time, effort, and money to be able to get the expertise, the skills, the systems in place that you have to be able to serve your clients. Therefore, I would say that time and cost for being able to serve your clients, being operational, are what you value most. From your client's point of view, they don't really care about those things. They are not hiring you because they want to rent out time from you, because they want every minute to be accountable. They are hiring you because they have problems that are keeping them stuck. And because they have those problems that are keeping them stuck, there are frustrations, they're missing out on opportunities. They want to be able to move forward, but they're not sure if they can. They have questions regarding their financials because of the fact that that is not their area of expertise. It is yours, and that's where they need your help. So from a client's point of view, they are hiring you because they either want to remove a headache that they have, solve a problem, or that they want to move in a certain direction and they need more insights regarding their financials. When you give away, so from a client's point of view, the thing that you told me that you just gave away, which was all that advice and access to you, from a client's point of view, that is your highest value and you're giving it away for free. We have to correct that. You deserve to be well compensated for your intelligence, what's in your brain, and the fact that you know how to solve their problems and remove their headaches, giving them peace of mind to be able to move forward with confidence. That is your highest value from a client's point of view. But how do you communicate that? That becomes part of the challenge. So I just want to say what you value and what your clients value are two different things. And when clients who can hire you, if we want those clients that really care about what you do and respect you, we want to focus on what matters to them instead of what matters to you. Part of this is from my research into neuroscience and recognizing that how our brains work when we make decisions is that we often compare. That's why we get caught up in research and we overthink things a lot of times, is because we're comparing all this information in order to make the best decision possible. Without all that information, we're actually not very good at making decisions. Because of that, your clients are comparing things when they're deciding whether to work with you or not. If you offer an hourly rate, then they're comparing whether to work with you or move on to some other option. That's what happens when you offer an hourly as well as a fixed rate, is they're primarily looking at the price and they're comparing you to some other option of how to move forward. When you offer packages, you're typically offering 3 packages, which I'll talk about in section 3 today, but you're offering 3 packages, and now they're looking at the various packages and they are thinking about how to work with you. Therefore, both approaches give them a way to compare things, but the difference between the two is with the first option, they're comparing if to work with you or moving on. With the second option of offering packages, they're now considering how to work with you. And as a result of that, you end up with better clients who really want to move forward. When I first met Karen, she was way too busy. Even though she had a staff, there was too much on her plate. The other thing is that she was thinking about raising her prices for at least a year, but she was so gun shy to do that because it felt confrontational. She didn't want to have to deal with the pushback and the objections. She was afraid of losing clients because of the fact that she was the primary breadwinner for her family. As a result of that, she had what I call that upper limit challenge, where she was maxed out on revenues because she was maxed out on time as well. She was just burned out. It wasn't sustainable. And what happened is that we started to separate her fees from time. And this is part of what we did, is we created packages. I did this alongside with her of coming up with a silver, gold, and diamond option and looking at what we put into that and which package offered which service. And as a result, as you saw, she now earns 3 times more revenues, actually no additional time spent working. She actually works less now than she did when we first started working together, in addition to having 3 times more revenue. And because of the fact that she was able to free up her time and she has better cash flow, within the last 6 months, she just bought her dream home. So her dream home was in a rural park. She got out of the city into a rural community, and she bought a turn-of-the-century home that she and her husband are going to refurnish. Now, your dream home might be different than her dream home, but she is thrilled to be having all these projects with her house and being able to do something that she's been wanting to do for so long and never could. So think about that for you. What is it that you have been wanting to do, but you didn't have the capacity, whether it was time, money, or even peace of mind to be able to go ahead and follow through with that? And if you were able to actually do that thing that you really wanted, that would go ahead and raise the quality of your life. And that would be where your business improves the quality of life instead of feeling like a slave to your business.
Well, next, Lauren, we're going to be talking about how to highlight your value. But before we do that, we have our next poll question. So how do you raise your rates? Do you do it less than once per year, every year, several times per year, only with new clients? So once again, how often do you raise your rates? Less than once per year, every year, several times per year, or only with new clients?
And earlier, Ritz asked a question, which I do want to go ahead and answer.
Sure.
She asked if tasks are transactional and they vary monthly, how do you gauge or price the project?
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is that it depends on how you do diligence before you actually go into the project. And a lot of times I believe that you dive into a project too quickly. Let's take cleanups, okay? A lot of times accounting professionals have cleanups where they're taking on new clients because they already had a set of books and those books were a mess. And you need to really get them up to date and accurate before you can go ahead and move forward with their monthly bookkeeping and accounting needs. Because of the fact that those cleanups are usually quickly assessed during the initial consult, you're giving a price or an estimate based on that, and then you go and start the project and you're finding that it is a nightmare. It is, they underreported with what they told you was going on, and you found all these things that you realize makes it so much more complex. So What I would say with that is it has to do with how you're actually enrolling clients into working with you, which is part of what I work on with my clients as well, is all that to price the project correctly and to avoid those surprises. So what you really want to do is do a deep dive diagnostic where you're going in and you're really looking at the project very deeply, thoroughly, to understand what it is that needs to be done to go ahead and minimize those surprises that happen. When you're able to do that, then you're at a better place to be able to give them fixed fees as opposed to having to tie it to time, because you know it's going to be more timely and complex than you think, and you want to go ahead and make sure that you're not giving away the farm and underpricing it. So that is what I would say, is that you want to do a deep dive with what I teach with a paid diagnostic, being able to scope it out accurately and give a fixed fee. The other thing is you want your work agreement to be very tight, where it spells out exactly what's included, what's not included. If you find that it's going out of scope, it also addresses then how you talk about or deal with those things. So that would be some things that I would suggest, Ritz, to help you accurately price and offer packages for those projects. Anyway, Steve, you want to go ahead and share the results from the poll?
Absolutely. How often do you raise your rates? Less than once per year is 56%. Every year, 11%. Several times per year, 0%. And only with new clients is 33%. So this is one of my favorite slides. So, you know, what we're really looking at is that value is really sometimes difficult to describe, especially when it comes to pricing. How do you explain the relationship between value and price?
Thank you. And I put in the chat, what do your clients value most about your services? Would love to hear that. But I want to just say that value and price are subjective. As I've said before, what you value as a business owner is different than what your clients value from working with your firm. And this is similar to vehicles on the highway. If you're on the highway, you have some cars passing you and you have other vehicles that you're passing. But there's a wide range of vehicles that are on the highway along with you. They are not all the same make, model, and color, because then there's going to be some budget vehicles or economy vehicles where those people want to just go ahead and have a safe ride that takes them from their home to wherever that destination is. They don't care about all the bells and whistles. In fact, they might still have crank, roll up windows, and they have to push down the button to lock their doors. And then you're going to have most people in that mid-sized car. Those people want some amenities. They want a certain type of driving experience. They do not want the bare bone basics. And that might be that they're looking for the rear camera video screen when they back up, or that they like having those directionals on their side mirrors. They want seat warmers and hand warmers for when it's winter and it's cold out, and that they are looking for that certain type of driving experience. And then you have the luxury vehicles, the top of the line, which could be your Teslas. And that is for people that want to have a vehicle that gives them a very certain type of driving experience, and that it is a status also. When those cars drive by, they stand out, you recognize them. So it says something about the driver as well. And with Tesla owners, they're, like I said, they're looking for that driving experience, and they might also care about the environment. That's not always a given. So you have clients like that that go into those three categories also, which is the ones that really need just your basic services. And then most of your clients need a certain amount of services. And then you have those premium VIP clients that want the exceptions or want more access to you. Because of that, I think that you ought to offer them options that meet each of their different needs, instead of just one option and either they take it or they leave it. So something to think about is, if you are tracking your hours you're invoicing clients, you maybe have to chase money to get paid, or someone's coming back and challenging you why it took that long and want to negotiate your rates, and you don't enjoy doing that, then packages are the solution. Because with packages, it's not tied to time any longer, so you don't need to track your hours. If you want to track your staff's hours, please go ahead and do that. But you are not obligated to track your hours any longer when you have packages. The other part is you don't need to invoice because you're getting prepaid before you do the work. You never have to run the risk of doing the work and then chasing after the payment or writing it off. And that means that all that headache with collections doesn't exist any longer, because if you're not getting paid, you're not doing the work. There is no risk to you any longer of having those write-offs or write-downs. So if you don't enjoy tracking time, chasing money, invoicing clients, or maybe you don't invoice every month and you let it build up and you're invoicing just when you need the cash flow, then this solves that problem for you.
Well, Lauren, you know, what you shared goes into the mindset really about pricing and buying decisions. And I know from our work with accounting professionals, many of them really want to earn more, but they're unsure how to get started. What do you recommend to start separating their fees from time and to help them transition to value pricing?
And like you're saying, Steve, this is definitely a transition. Value pricing is not something that you just think of today and you implement tomorrow. It is a transition, just like any other process that you are upgrading in your firm. I think of this as learning how to ride a two-wheel bicycle, but in the beginning, you have those training wheels to be able to deal with the fact that you're a little bit shaky and unbalanced. And as you get more comfortable on it, you can go ahead and remove the training wheels. This is what I call good, better, and best pricing. How you want to do this is you have new clients coming to you. When you have them coming to you, go ahead and come up with a fixed rate that you would normally offer them based on typically your hour multiplied by your hourly rate. You'll come up with that fixed fee for their services. And now we're going to start offering a new good rate. That means you're going to take that flat fixed fee you just came up with and multiply it by 1.5. And you're going to offer them that new good rate. As you're going to realize with that is you find clients aren't as price sensitive as you think they are. So that gives you some evidence that yes, you can earn more for your services and that you're now working with clients that are less price sensitive. After you enroll 3 clients at a new good rate, then we move up to tier number 2. That will be a new better rate. Once again, you have people coming to you, come up with that original fixed price that you would be offering them. Now we're going to go ahead and multiply it by 2x. This means that with clients that are enrolling into working with you at this new better rate, you are earning double what you previously would have earned without any additional work. Because of the fact that these clients see the value of working with you, you're getting some confidence, you're getting more comfortable with having these enrolling conversations and what questions come up in order for them to see the value, and it is getting easier, but you also are seeing your revenues go up. After you enroll 3 clients into your new better rates, we are going to the top tier of the best rate. This is, once again, people coming to you. You're going to come up with that flat fee you originally would have given them, and now we're going to multiply it by 3x. This means you now will be earning 3 times what you were originally earning with these new clients enrolling with you. As a result, you're working with a better client. They respect you. They value what you have to offer. They have boundaries. They are not texting you Friday at 8 o'clock at night, expecting you to immediately respond. And if you don't respond, they are texting and calling you again. You have better clients. And I will say that moving to the best rate takes courage, not confidence. This is something that the confidence comes as you're going through the process. But after you are enrolling clients into your best rates for a while, you realize you need to recalibrate this all over again. And what happens is your best rate will become your good rate, and you can go through the good, better, best rates all over again. And that's how you start to move away from an hourly or fixed pricing over to value pricing. Basically, when you are looking at the essence of value pricing, this is the main thing of what it stands for. The client needs to believe that what they have to gain from working with you is greater than the fees that they are paying you. I'll say that one more time. They need to believe that what they have to gain from working with you is greater than the fees that they are paying you. And when you're able to do that, they see the value of working with you. They are not price sensitive. When Susan first reached out to me, she was maxed out. She was working 7 days a week, 70 hours a week. And yes, she had people texting her Friday at 8 o'clock. And even if she was spending time with her family, she would drop everything, go ahead and respond to their request because she thought that that's what needed to happen for customer service. As a result of that, she had that upper limit challenge where she was maxed out on her income. She was maxed out on her time. She couldn't do this any longer because she was burned out, and her family was also paying the price because she wasn't really available to them any longer. Because of that, we started to move into offering packages, and this is what happened with her. She kept these numbers for me because she's an accounting professional. She tracks everything on an Excel spreadsheet. And I want to bring your attention to cleanup number one. Before we started working together, she originally would have just taken her time as well as her hourly rate and priced it. And she said 100% of the time, she always undercharged for a cleanup project. But that would have been $1,500 that she would have offered. Because the fact that I was able to talk with her about what the value was from the client's perspective, how they would benefit from it, the gains that they would see, what they would make as far as a difference for their business growing and inventory control for them, we went ahead and priced the cleanup project at $7,900. The other thing is that she didn't have the confidence to do this. When she had this conversation with them, she was shaking in her boots because she was someone who said yes to everybody. She didn't like confrontation or objections. Those things really stressed her out. But she had a step-by-step system that I gave her. She had the courage to do this, not the confidence, because she was burned out. She couldn't do what she was doing any longer. Because she followed each step, not only did they say yes, but she also followed the step of asking for payment first. They went ahead and paid her in full before she started the project. As a result, you can see she made an additional $6,400 profit on that project. It wasn't anything about the time. It was about how the clients benefited from having accurate books. And from that, she realized that her clients weren't as price sensitive as she was afraid of. From the 9 months that she was tracking this, you can see that she brought in an additional $56,000, but it wasn't just that. She got back her life. She went from that 7 days a week, 70 hours a week, to 3 days a week, about 20 hours a week. And she was just able to be less stressed. She was able to now do personal things, spend more time with her family, travel. And that part was priceless. So think about what that would do for you if we were able to remove that upper limit challenge where you're burned out, you're working too many hours for too little money, and you had better clients who saw the value of working with you and willing to pay your fees upfront before you did the work.
Well, Lauren, before we get into the final section where you're going to be discussing value packages even further, I've actually been getting some private messages about how to implement the packages. And I know that we have a free resource.
Yeah, I went ahead and put it in the chat. If you're interested in following the steps that I've been talking about with how to start to value price your services with the good, better, best, and also how to start to move into packages, then I went ahead and gave you all the steps there outlined in the free resource on how to start value pricing your services. So if you go to businesssuccesssolution.com/package, it will show you how to start doing that and put you on the road to be able to earning more money and getting your personal time back.
Great. Well, I know that we're going to move forward to the 5 steps to packages, which I think a lot of people are waiting for. But of course, we do have one more poll question. Do you currently offer packages? Yes, no, sometimes. I tried it, but it just didn't stick with it. So once again, do you currently offer packages? Yes, no. Sometimes I tried it, but I didn't stick with it.
And I know that Leslie asked a question
She
earlier.
did. Yep.
Do you have it in front of you, Steve?
Let's see. Thoughts about value pricing, and then there was some more to it, but I didn't catch all of it. So if Leslie wants to put it there, or you can talk about value
You know what, I
pricing.
think I found it.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on package pricing with additional a la carte options? Is that a pitfall? What I do when, in fact, I just did this yesterday with one of my clients. We were meeting and we were creating packages for her services. And what we did is we come up with 3 packages, silver, gold, and diamond, which I'll go more into in this section. But I realize that not all your clients are going to want the same exact thing. Some of them have some additional requests or requirements. Because that, we also came up with a menu of some a la carte things, and we went ahead and priced what those a la carte things on the menu would be. And what you can now do is, now that you have your template of packages and your menu of some exceptions that clients need, you can then bring them into a package when you're talking with a client and give them the exact package that is specified for their needs. You don't have to let them know that you have a la carte options. So there's basic services that every single one of your clients will need. And then there's some variations or exceptions that you want to have on an a la carte that you bring into your packages. And then you're going to go ahead and offer those packages to your clients. So that is how I approach it with my clients. And when I did this yesterday with this client, she was thrilled because she couldn't wait to get away from her hourly rate. She knew it didn't reflect her value. And she was just so excited. She wanted to immediately go ahead and try it out with some of her best clients. So I want to just say it solves everything. And when you get away from the hourly rate part and into packages, you just want to go ahead and immediately implement it because it frees up your time and you're being able to earn more without having to, once again, sacrifice your personal time. So Steve, you want to go ahead and read the results?
Oh, absolutely. So do you currently offer packages? Yes is 14%. No is 57%. Sometimes 14%. And I tried it, but I didn't stick with it is also 14%. So great. Thank you.
Did I jump the gun?
A little bit.
Okay, let's see if I can get back. Hold on one second, because I have definitely lost track as to where I am. And my mouse is not working with me. It's a little messy.
There we go.
So there we go. We're in the right place.
Excellent. Okay. So what do you need to consider when developing packages for your client?
What you want to do is actually, instead of thinking about where they are now and where you want to take them, you want to start with the end in mind. This is called reverse engineering. And think about what is the benefit of them working with you? What are they able to achieve? And how does it really solve a problem for them? As a result of that, you want to find out these 3 questions and think about what packages would those particular clients need. So who is the package for? Is it for a particular profession or industry? Is it for maybe at different levels of businesses? Maybe you have one for people that are new to business or that are just solopreneurs. And then you have one for people that have been in business and are more in a growth mode. And then you have one for people that have a legacy business or an enterprise business. So think about what are the needs of those clients and what categories do your clients fit into? And you want different packages for different clients because just like the vehicles on the highway, they all have different things that they value most. So think about who those packages are for. An example with my clients is I offer 3 packages, and the lowest level package is for people that have already created packages. They have already value priced their services, but now they want to go ahead and shift from being the technician to the CEO of their firm. So that is what one package is for, is that they have some of this done already and they don't need a lot of additional help from me to be able to continue moving forward. And then the second package I have is for accounting firm owners who are tired of tying their fees to their time. They have that upper limit challenge. They are maxed out with revenues as well as time. And they've been wanting to be able to raise their rates and move in this direction. Maybe they've even tried it before, but they just haven't succeeded in doing it, and they are tired of waiting. So that would be my second package and who that is for. And then the third package I have is for people that want additional insights from me and maybe want me to go through their entire client list with them, with their clients, and look at where they're priced now and look at what they ought to be priced at and how to have those conversations. And as new proposals are coming in, they want me to review those proposals with them to make sure that they're not underpricing them or missing anything. And those would be the people in my premium package. So I'm giving you an example of how to look at who each package is for in order for you to start thinking about that with your clients, and that different clients have different needs. The second thing to look at is what specific problem does each package solve? Well, like I was explaining with my packages, the first one really solves looking at moving from being the technician in your business. Even if you have employees, you're still working in the day-to-day operations too much, and you want to free yourself from that and do higher level services or more business development. So the first one allows you to shift from being the technician to the CEO of your firm. And the second and the third package that I offer, they are both about how to be able to get away from that upper limit challenge in order to earn more and be able to get back your personal life and raise your quality of life. So those are the problems that my packages solve. Think about that for your clients also, and what problem each package would solve for your clients. And then the third thing is, how do your clients benefit from this? Well, just think about what I've been talking about. If I can remove your upper limit challenge where you maxed out on revenues, you maxed out on your time, and you're working too much in your business instead of on the higher level services or business development, how would that make a difference for you? What would that allow you to do from raising your quality of life, and how would that be meaningful for you? And that is the benefit that my clients receive. So think about that for your clients. If they were working with your firm, what type of benefit would they receive? And it's not just about the business aspect, it's about how they're able to maybe improve their quality of life as well, because my guess is that your clients are maxed out as well. And if they were able to get increased revenues because of the fact that you were doing their accounting needs for them, or gain back some of their time because they didn't have to do the accounting themselves any longer, what type of difference would that make for them? So those are some of the things you want to think about when you are creating packages. I'm going to just go right through this, Steve, just to let you know.
Go for it.
Another way to look at package benefits from your point of view as the business owner is that you have improved efficiency, because once you separate your fees from time, the more efficient you get, whether it's you gaining expertise or you adding in software that speeds up the process, your clients become more profitable. Your work becomes more profitable. The next thing is it's upfront fees. Everybody is on the same page as to what the fees will be for your services, as opposed to invoicing where it's a different amount each month. The third thing is you are paid in full. You no longer run the risk of getting paid after the fact and then having it either have write-offs or write-downs. You're getting paid before you do the work. Number 4 is work agreement. Because of the fact that you now have a work agreement, as their needs grow, as scope creep comes up, there's a way for you to address that. Or as you have legacy clients, they no longer have to remain at your original rates because you have something in your work agreement that discusses how you negotiate or reprice your services every year. And then the fifth thing is better communication, because you're teaching them how to be a good client with you. You're putting boundaries in place that you don't currently have. And even if you are a people pleaser, where you love saying yes, saying no feels uncomfortable for you. Even earlier this morning in my group coaching call with my mastermind clients, we were talking about boundaries and better communication and how to be able to teach clients how to work with you. So when they're texting you Friday, 8 o'clock at night, they don't expect an immediate response from you. They know that it has to wait until business hours again. So think about how that would change things for you as well. So those are some of the benefits of packages. And I'm going to give you the 5 steps on how to package your services. The very first one is understanding who your high quality ideal clients are. What you want to consider is maybe it's a specific industry, or maybe it is a specific specialty that you have and you solve a particular problem. It could be a little bit of, it could be either or it could be both. So with my clients, I only work with accounting professionals. So I have a particular niche, but I also have a specialty because I only work on being able to increase your revenues and get back your personal time. That is what I do with all my clients. And so I have both. And that's something for you to think about. Do you have a particular industry that you work with? Do you solve a particular client? Maybe it's a combination of both, or maybe it's a personality match and you like working with a certain type of personality, and those clients are a dream to work with, whereas the other ones just give you headaches as soon as you get that communication from them. Your blood pressure goes up, you have anxiety, and you just wish that they would go away. So you want to know who your clients are, because you deserve to work with clients who value and respect you. Number 2 is identifying your clients' hurdles. This is knowing what are the challenges that are going on with them when they first reach out to you. And I just want to know, what are some of the things that your clients are dealing with, or some of the problems that they have when they're first reaching out to you, and go ahead and put that in the chat. But think about what are the challenges that are currently going on when they're reaching out to you, because they're not reaching out to you when things are the status quo and good enough. Your clients are busy people, just like you're busy. They're reaching out to you when there's some type of problem, there's an urgency, or they want to move forward and they can't do it without having accurate financials. So think about what some of those challenges are. And if you're not sure, I would say identify your best 2, maybe 3 clients. Ask them what were some of the hurdles that they had before they reached out and worked with you. So Sunshine says they have messy books at tax time. Pretty common, especially at this time of year. So with any of you, did any of your clients get an IRS letter before they reached out to you? Or maybe they have been doing books themselves and they no longer have the time to do it. Or they haven't been doing books all year. They meant to, but they've been too busy working their business and now they have to file taxes. So once again, think about, there's only a couple of things that your clients are dealing with, but think about what those common complaints are before they reach out. And that's something to think about, is really understanding that very deeply. The next thing is list your various services. So Royce was saying ditto, they had tax issues and received IRS notices. There's some urgency when they get a letter from the IRS. Even if all that's in, okay, they get it from the letter from an IRS verifying an address change, but because they got 2 letters from the IRS back to back, they're freaking out and haven't even opened it yet. How often have you had that happen? So once again, number 3 is listing your various services. Now that you know what it is that your clients care about, take some time aside from working in your business. This is a way to work on your business. Open up an Excel spreadsheet, take out your yellow legal pad, whichever way that you take notes, and list out all the different things that you do for clients, including the things that you do for free and don't get compensated for, or they don't even realize that you're doing for them. Just come up with that long laundry list and do a brain dump of everything. And then the next thing is to look at, when you're moving to packages, packages are tiered, similar to the American Express cards. They have more than 3 cards, but I'm just taking 3 for an example. They have the green card, which is the most basic membership level that they have. It allows someone to have an American Express card. It's a low level of membership, about $97 a year, and it gives them the bare bones amenities, but allows them to have that American Express card. And then the majority of their members are in the gold card. The gold card has some common amenities that people want, which might include access to the VIP lounges when they're going to specific events or when they're traveling in the airport. There's some other things that they get as far as customer service as well. And most people are happy with that. And then there's the black card. The black card is the premium card. First of all, you can't apply for this card. It is invitation only. So you have to receive an invitation to even apply for it. And then you pay $5,000 in order a year to have this membership. This is a credit card. And there are some people paying $5,000 a year for a black card because it has the status and it gives concierge services that the other membership levels don't offer. And you have clients at these 3 levels as well. But to recognize that everything from the green card rolls into the gold, everything from the green and gold rolls into the black. And that's what you want to do for your clients as well with packages. And this is what the value packages look like. You have a silver, a gold, and a diamond. You're going to have some clients in the silver, they want the basics, but they see the value of working with your firm instead of somebody else's. You want the gold package, which is where the majority of your clients will be. And then you want the diamond, which is for those premium clients that want more access to you or have some unique exceptions. And when Rihanna first reached out to me, she was, once again, like many other accounting professionals, just working too many times. She would put the kids to bed at night, then she'd run back and fire up her computer and do some more client work. And it was just exhausting. She was missing out on her kids' sporting events and some other things. She said, because she said yes to everybody and every request that came her way. She didn't have any boundaries in her business. So she was working a lot of hours for too little money. We went ahead and defined who her ideal client is, and she chose a niche of restaurants because she has years of working in the restaurant industry before having her own firm. And then we went ahead and made a silver, gold, and platinum package, which was specific to the restaurant industry. She's allowed me to share this because she wants it to be inspiration, but this is proprietary for her, so please do not copy it. But this is what it looks like for her. And just think about if you had packages that were for a specific niche, what would those look like? And that would change your offering to the value of working with you instead of focusing on the technical things that you do for your clients. So Steve, you want to take it from there?
Absolutely. So this is what we covered today. We looked at how to earn more, highlighting your value, and 5 steps to packages. And Lauren, you know, I know that you really shared a lot, and I think that now some of them can get started, but I really think that there are some that are ready to get this done and they don't want to figure it out on their own. What do you recommend for those listeners who would like to talk with you further? Well,
first of all, I want to acknowledge you for showing up, working on your business by joining us today instead of working in your business. And I hope that you just took away one nugget. If you took away one thing you can implement today, then this was a win-win for all of us. But I hope that you got value from our short time together and that you got some ideas or some how-tos. And if you feel that you've been thinking about this for a long time, you are ready to go ahead and raise your rates and separate your fees and time and get back your personal time again, then let's go ahead and put aside time for us to have a dedicated conversation. I have some slots available for a Path to Profit strategy session. It does have a $500 value, but it is complimentary because I want to have this dedicated conversation to focus on what it is that you need and to serve you at the highest level. If that interests you, then go to businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk. And that's where we can focus on where your business is at, what revenues you would like to be bringing in, how you'd like to be able to raise the rates of your clients, packages, services, work with high value clients instead of the clients that you wish would go away, and be able to really serve your clients at a higher level. So it is at businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk. If that resonates with you, you're ready to get this done, then I look forward to having that conversation. But once again, I just want to say thank you for joining me. I appreciate our connection and you showing up today, and look forward to having that dedicated conversation with you. Take care. Bye.